Well, it's fine. That means we have everything done here now. It was easier than I thought. Oh, hello there, guys. You thought I would not record this? Well, there you go. And this is my Ottomans campaign, which started before the premiere of 1.35. We ended up with a world conquest in 1618, but I promised you with a good engagement, which you provided, that I'll record one more extra video where I'm gonna show you how to handle decadence by not fighting it, by not trying to stop it, but embracing it. Remember, decadence at maximum gives minus 50% manpower, tech cost 100%, for defense minus 50, idea cost plus 100%, siege ability minus 50%, reform progress growth minus 100%. It hurts as hell, but we want to embrace it, because if you manage to go for the decadence and its disasters, you get really good bonuses. What I have to start with today is to core the provinces to fix our overextension and fix our exhaustion as well as stability. To fix overextension, I'll start with giving many of these provinces to my subjects, because I don't have enough army mana to core. Worst part of conquering the world and having so many subjects is that, see how the game is laggy? I'm trying to click the button to release a subject, but the game does not want to do that. Now with reduced overextension, I can go ahead and start coring all of these boys. Of course, it's gonna take more time than it should and more cost than it should because of my war exhaustion, but I think it's fine. With the rest of the points, let's just push our stability back to 0 for now, but ideally to 1. As we need to fix the problem with the amount of upcoming rebels. I also want to fix our borders, and that's why I will go ahead and break our vassal Russia, only to attack them in a couple of years and fully annex. A good tip, I think it's not obvious in the UI, if you want to find like where the hell the rebels are occupying the provinces. Like, I was looking like, well, it's the Portuguese rebels in the Falklands. You go on the number of the provinces occupied by the rebels, and you have the list of what exactly they are occupying. As the game is going anyway very slowly, I'm just doing plenty of things in the meantime, like exploring the world to be sure that I can access any province, or taking government reform. And on the tier 8, I will probably go for the trade efficiency, which doesn't really matter. Take a look at the upcoming rebels. It does look worrying, but I really need to reduce my war exhaustion by another like 4. And there will be no rebels loading. Preparing for the decadence, I should keep building more troops, so I'll be having something to fight with, and I should start stacking even more of the manpower, so let me upgrade a couple of buildings. That's what I'm talking about. Right now we have how many provinces rebels? Around 270. Wait a month tick, then reduce the war exhaustion once, and after these updates, we are more like 150 provinces with the rebels, and you can see that the average is like only 1.8 in the highest ones. So a couple of more months and one more decrease of war exhaustion, there is no rebels in the country. Are you ready for this? Just look. Look at this perfection. Rebels? What rebels? After first batch of buildings, our maximum power is already on the level of 1.4 million. And we gotta keep pumping this up and saving the manpower for the decadence. As told you, I was exploring the whole world with my navy, and as I had nothing left to explore, I had one more option to be done. And it is the circumnavigation, and it happens that I'm the first one in the world to do that. Now, another topic that we have is, should we take the technology, even though it's like plus 40% of the cost for our win deck because of the decadence, I at the same time might still need my admin mana for the negative events and everything. So the question is, do we save or do we take it now? I'll take it now and then start saving. I'm trying to slowly decrease my dependency on the Janissaries to decrease their influence. I assume we have to go for the disaster. I'll be able to just handle them somehow. I just seize land in the meantime to also decrease their influence on the controlled land. I can't believe it. Remember how I was bitching that it's like very bad system of calling your ALETs into the war? Yeah, because you had to go manual to each one of them and ask them to join the war. Right now, as you can see, we can call them right away at the start of the war. Let me do that, and they're gonna handle the war with Russia by themselves. Told you I'll fix borders with Russia, so full annexing them. even the name placement is making better right now. There we go, guys. Next month the decadence is gonna hit 100, which will start loading the disaster. Give me April. Decadence is 100 and internal power struggle is loading. Just giving a couple of triggers and it's loading just 1 month. We need to speed this up. Because if they don't do anything, you'll see that it will take 8 years to start. Overextension, not doable. I can get some rebels to start loading, and I could get my stability below 3. No, stability is not doable because I don't. I mean, I could. What if I take this? 700 points. Well, look, I can do this, and I could do this. Should take 1 of my stability, so it loads 2 monthly now. And second step is to get rebels somehow, but I don't have any unrest anywhere. How about we find a province that we very recently conquered, like for example from Russia. I'm gonna state it and core this one province. And what if I try reducing the autonomy over here? I can't, my autonomy is dropping so fast, it's already at 8%. Well, what if we got rid of this unrest guy? Let's just take production instead. Would that cause any rebels to start logging? Oh. I'm too stable, guys. Okay, 2 monthly thought was the disaster is gonna start in 4 years. I think I'm ready for the disaster. 1.6 million manpower, 400,000 ducats, full of power points, and the disaster starting next month. So what is this, the power struggle of the Ottoman Empire doing? The dark times are ahead. It takes my legitimacy, but only 30. It takes 20 prestige and unlocks 1, 2, 3, 4 different disasters. And any of the disasters can happen at the same time, so it can be at 4 disasters at the same time. It obtains me the new missions, so let's take a look at them. I can immediately take 1, restructure administration, which requires me to have 7 guarantee forms, 15 admin mana monthly, a high level advisor, and 2 idea groups finished. In exchange, I'm getting standardized millets guarantee form as 7th, which gives me diplomatic annexation cost. That's interesting. Reform progress growth and 200 admin mana. Well, I'm hitting the admin points cap, so how about we boost our stability and then take this mission? Yes, I want to take this guarantee form. Thank you so much. What next we can do here, because it's this whole part of the mission tree. Regulate the harem, had internal power struggle disaster for 3 years, and then I'm having all of the requirements, good. Here, the giant size struggle, so you have to have internal power struggle for at least 3 years, and at least 90 legitimacy. Well, I'm hitting the mill points caps. How about we do this and this? This gives us enough of legitimacy to take it. I need to have also the internal power struggle for 3 years. That might be harder. Elite crisis, again, 3 years, and then the other requirements I have already. Influence of giant size below 50. That would be a hard one. It's 85%, and I can't really make it lower because of the amount of the privileges I have right now, and I can't cancel them, as you can see, manually. Let's just take a look at the others. 70 absolutism. This is gonna be harder. And how about this? 3 years, and again, no province. I have 25 provinces with the culture is North Turkish and it has a Pasha. So I just have to state more provinces. This is double, but again, it takes 3 years. I think we have to start working on absolutes, which is just 3 right now. I should have started that doing earlier. If I did research, I would know that. How about we take the monthly piety, the general cost, the additional loyalty, demi liberties. So at least right now, this is already 33 far more. So remember to have a pasha. From what I remember, no, any stated province can have a pasha. How about we start going for this? Remember, I have plenty of capacity, so I can just go and start stating all of these provinces. It doesn't matter which one I choose, honestly, but of course I should try taking the best provinces Royal gains, blah blah blah, but it's fine. So I can just, yeah, go ahead and start assigning pashas to all of them. How do I even end the Imperial Power struggle? Oh my god, all of this are loading! Imperial Power struggle. I need to get the missions, okay. How about the Aeolite Rebellion? So I need to decrease the birth desire. This is doable. Pasha Decadence. Cannot be stopped, okay. Plot of the Harem. Ruler age is at least 30. Oh no, he's 21! This is not helpful, but it's not affecting that much. I need to fix the subject's loyalty. How about we go ahead and start deving them is what I have to do. And again, it's just the Aeolites, right? Let's take a look. Yes, Aeolites. Let's go ahead and just dev them. Dev and increase relations because how fast it's loading right now. Oh, 10 each month! Yeah, I have to slow it down. This deving is not expensive. And look, 2 dev clicks and Hungary is loyal. 3 dev clicks or 4 and Korea will be loyal. I don't have to collaborate colonies, so you're left with Egypt and just Egypt because Mexico is not even an Aeolite. Egypt is not gonna be easy, too bad they're not taking any loans. How about we placate rulers once? Support loyalists. And this is a divert trade because we really don't have to do that, we have so much money. And now, with this done, should add 25 and birth desire. It's not saying not disloyal. Oh, well, I think it's not gonna be that hard because take a look. Korea, fixed. Krakow, I just have to stop diverting trade. Yeah, easy peasy, guys. And now this update, yes, Aeolite Rebellion is not growing. This is fixed. Why is Janissary coup not growing? Legitimacy has to be lower and less than 5% grants the Janissary. Because I need to somehow get rid of these privileges. I just don't know how. There it goes, guys. First disaster is there, the decadence of the Pasha, which takes 3 stability and gives us some particulars. And just a reminder to review the mission tree. To go through the internal power struggle, you have to handle 4 different disasters. One is regarding the Janissaries, one is regarding the Aeolites, one is regarding Pashas, and one is regarding the Harem. So each of them is having own missions to handle. And while it's a struggle, you end up with better bonuses. My biggest issue right now is that to complete these missions, I'm lacking 2 crucial things. One is 70 of absolutism, which I'm getting into, I just have to cancel a couple of more of this. And second is finishing whole military idea group, which I didn't need the whole campaign, and it's now. And keep in mind, an idea group cost me 770 points because of the freaking decadence. So that's gonna be easy. Alternative is to get 70 army tradition and 70 army professionalism, which might actually end up being cheaper. But I'm not sure if I can get to enough army attrition, you know, without actual enemies, just rebels. That's why I probably just end up going to finishing these ideas. So let's just go ahead and focus on the mill points. Honestly, guys, I'll change the Ottoman SIAC tax system. I think I can take it again later. I'll change to general estate because this means that calling a diet no longer includes influence, which is good and is also more loyalty than influence of each of the estates. And the goal is very simple. Cancel more of the privileges, so just summon the diet, which increases the loyalty, but not the influence, and take maybe something for the merchant guilds, as I want to cancel one of this. What do you want? A trade company in Japan to be bigger, of course. Let's just do that, tick, tick, tick. I have to annex one of the subjects, let me think about that. Well, how about we take Oda, we reign in Aeolite, we increase the relations and start annexing them. You know what, guys, I forgot that once you reign in Aeolite, so you make them a core Aeolite, you have 10 years until you can start annexing them. So how about I just go ahead and attack Ainu, as you can see it's just -2 stability. And I can call Utsonima and Uesugi to help me. Just don't know how it's decided on like order of these nations here. It's still not the best. There should be a button to call them all. Also forgot, guys, that we have a problem with an unrest because of disasters. It's +10 from decadence and +1 from internal power struggle, and then also disloyal subjects. As already 3 years passed since the internal power struggle started, I got some missions to click. Regulate the harem, so I just have to avoid this disaster from happening, which was easy because my ruler was over 30 years old, and then also I had to hire higher level advisors. ELET crisis also avoid this disaster from happening, and then no subject country spawn rebels against prevent the rebels. Yeah, not happening. Thank you so much. That's diplomatic reputation +2, 15 admin mana and liberty design from the subject's development, so it makes them even more loyal, which is super useful. And now we have to think about the others. Handle the Janissaries requires me to get 90 legitimacy. This should be easy because I'm getting 4.5 yearly. Then end of ELET rebellions requires me to get the Absolutins, Heim and Liberty Desire subjects low. That should be easy with the Liberty Desire. I just have to stop diverting trade from all of them. And by the way, no subjects, not ALS. So it might be a bit harder with colonies. I will start improving relations with them. And absolutes, I'm working on the max absolutes, and once I get to 70 of max, it will be easy to get the actual absolutes there. I'll show you how. What we have next? Reign of Women requires me also legitimacy, easy peasy. Oppose the Pashas requires me to have no rebels and not to be in the Pasha decadence disaster. With 90 legitimacy as promises, handle the Janissaries, which gives me enable decision to find the Janissaries and negotiate with Janissaries during the Janissary coup disaster, but I don't have this disaster. 50 admin mana, manpower, mill point. The Devshire shackles. I need to have 25% discipline, 5 morale, or 80% of the force limit of army. I'm over my force limit, so easy peasy. And not granted estate privilege, loosen Devshire system. And spawn rebels are not Janissary rebels. Okay, that's easy. And in exchange, I'm getting Fate of the Devshire, which gives me more legalism. I'm at the max already. Ottoman conscription for tier 2, which is manpower the true faith promises, manpower the primary culture promises, and tier 5 guarantee form Sekbach recruitment. Okay, so tier 2 is Ottoman conscription. So instead of Devshire, manpower and Janissary loyalty. Instead, I'm getting manpower and the true faith and primary culture promises. So it's actually gonna decrease my max manpower, which doesn't matter. I have 1.7 million. And then tier 5 was giving me expanded Devshire system, which was the vassal force limit contribution, special force limit, and vassal manpower contributions. It's also gonna decrease my manpower because I'm just gonna get reinforced speed instead. Or I go for, because I could keep the Devshire system. It seems that it's more worth. So I'm gonna get 100 loyalty of the Janissaries, 50 administrative power, and mysticism. Let's go for it. I prefer this over the upgraded thing that they just proposed to me. To modernize the army, I need to have Janissaries influence below 50. And honestly, I have no idea how to achieve that because I can't cancel this privileges. It seems that I have to face the Janissaries, but in the meantime, let's just reign the woman. So that ends the plot of the harem disaster, which we didn't even start. The modernized Ottoman government reform will feature the harem mechanic. This reform is unlocked when we end the internal power struggle disaster. Okay, so I can't do anything with it yet. I'm just looking if any other of these things is requiring me to have a high legitimacy, because I could end this as well first. Let's wait for the Pasha decadence to end. I just have to wait like 2-3 more years, probably like 3 more years. Then we reduce our legitimacy below 75 to start loading the Janissary coup. But then I have to get the loyalty much lower of the Janissaries. How am I supposed to do that? My equilibrium is too high. I think it's not done well, this disaster, because I can't cancel any of this, I can't start a disaster because they are too loyal, and I can't do anything with this estate. So I don't think that makes much sense, but I'll have to find some solution. So how the hell am I gonna get it to 70? Well, I will use a trick from this video from Lambda. You can check it, which is like super nice and easy. So I'm gonna use the Chinese provinces for it. So how it works is that first of all you increase autonomy in the province, and I will do that in as many provinces as possible, because remember, increasing autonomy takes your absolutism. So I need to do it in enough provinces to get it to 70, and I'm gonna do it in all of the Chinese provinces plus a bit more. So just give me a couple of seconds on this first step. Second step is to go back to this province, state it, then unstate it. Thanks to it, you can go ahead and decrease autonomy in these provinces, and as you remember, decreasing autonomy, you can see it here, increases your absolutism. So if you just keep repeating that in many provinces, it's an easy way to get it higher. So let's see if all of the provinces that I chose would be enough to get to 70. If not, we can just use other ways to increase that, but I think it should be more or less enough. Now, after stating and unstating so many provinces, I can even use provinces that I where I increased the autonomy some time ago to avoid troubles, like here in Africa. And after stating and unstating all of this, that should really give me a huge potential to increase my absolutism. So I can just go to the macro builder, find provinces with the highest autonomy, and go ahead and start decreasing it. Of course, this will equal plenty of rebels, but keep in mind that the disaster that gave me 10 unrest everywhere is about to end. So I will be fine. It will be easy peasy. 70 absolutism is there. Now I just have to have no rebel armies and fix the subjects' loyalty. The colonies are the worst, where I'll probably have to use their money. The Zuni Federation makes you can just cancel this. Let's just start doing so. The Zuni Federation, I'm sorry, you're no longer my friend, and that's same with Mexico. To 13 colonies I can send officers, subsidize armies, and super loyalists. Then I don't think I can do anything else, because I don't want to placate the rulers. My prestige already dropped. So how about we just develop it once? It's Castilian Brazil. Click on a tick. Few provinces is gonna be enough. For Newfoundland, Finland is gonna do the same. So tick, and tick. Colonia Mexico the same, and 13 colonies the same. So tick. That's 28. So we have to go to 13 colonies and definitely them. I'll relay a few times. Now all of these are below 10%. What else I need? I need to take care of the rebels. If this is done, I can end the ALS rebellions, which gives me 20 reasons for ALS to accept being reigned in, which I don't need. After 5 years of the Pasha's disaster, I can end it, because it's ongoing for 5 years, and I got enough provinces with the Pasha, I have 2 stability, and that gives us a lot of power points. And this disaster is super helpful because it was plus 10. Oh, national unrest -2, I love it. It was plus 10 to national unrest, so now this decreased. You can see there are pretty much no rebels coming, only a couple from decreasing the autonomy. We only are left to handle the Janissaries issues. And I calculated what I have to do. I have to finish offensive ideas, and it's, remember, 776 points per each idea, x5. And then I have to spend another almost 2000 mana on getting around 800 of Janissaries into my army. You know what? I have plenty of money and manpower. So to start this, I need to drop the legitimacy and have 50% of my army being Janissary regiments. Of course, right now it's 986,000 troops. But if I go ahead, do this, delete all of these armies, I can rebuild them later. This number decreases to 793. And if I do it even farther, you can see that this is dropping to 735. I can go ahead with this. Remember, no rebels are loading right now. This really doesn't matter. You can rebuild my core army from the scratch and I will still have manpower. Do the same here. Maybe on the islands I will keep the armies. Delete these boys as well. This should be enough. Now with this change I need 496 of Janissaries, so I can just go ahead and start building them. Spending all of my mill points, I'm at 253,000. So how about we also remove these guys, we remove these guys, we get rid of most of our army, we're down to 1 million, out of which a big chunk is already the Janissaries. Remove these boys, I think I thought I have too many armies in the new world, especially the stuff to conquer there. Remove these boys, I should, yeah, just look for the armies where I might have the Janissaries, because there's still plenty of them. Sick. Now we only need 399,000. Let's find more. I'll have whole army to be rebuilt, honestly. Probably something here. Good. Now this is down to 326,000. So I have 227,000. We've lost some probably with this removing. So with just a couple of more mill points, I will get this done. Okay, now we got the disaster to start loading. The question is how fast it's gonna load. Only 2 monthly. Yeah, I have too high loyalty of them. And we potentially need also more of the troop. No, I just have to wait this 5 years for them to load. Actually, it's like 4 years. Imagine owning most of the world and manufacturing steel started in freaking Uckermark. There goes the disaster. Next month, Janissary coup. Before I click any of this, I'm immediately gonna delete all of my Janissaries. And I'm gonna start building my troops again. Let's maybe, yeah, let's just 20-0-10. We gotta rebuild. Ah, why is it lagging? No, I have to build like 1 million troops now. Now we are only left with 40k Janissaries, and then no more troops will be recruiting. They should decrease their influence very much soon. Let's see what the disaster is doing. It takes 100 loyalty, which already happened, plus 15 tech cost and idea cost, not helpful for me filling offensive ideas. From progress growth, Janissary units get very severe modifiers, but I got rid of most of the Janissaries. Puppet card will be granted to Janissaries, which does the following: legitimacy, monthly power points. The log the positive Janissaries that previous are converted to the negative ones. They got so much land as well. That was 55% at 24. Oh, this hurts, guys. This hurts a lot, but we'll handle this. And you know, there are 2 possibilities how to handle the Janissaries from my memory. We either deal with them, which disables the Janissaries but gives me infantry compatibility and other bonuses, and to change my unit's type and technology to Western, or I compromise with the Janissaries and they get reinforced cost and reinforced speed. I can keep recruiting them, and I'm also getting a reform, but I'm not sure how this. I think the reform is for both of the options, which is specially for no, just for the Janissaries. But no, I'm not gonna use the Janissaries. Let's get rid of them. I'm gonna show you the Western part. By the way, this Janissary thingy destroyed my max absolutism. I still have enough progress to bring it back to like whatever it was before. But you know, that's maybe a guide for you. When you'll be taking care of that, it might be more worth to first deal with the Janissaries, and then the middle mission, which is giving you absolutism, because otherwise you lose all of the progress that you were fighting for. Okay, so how about we try dealing with the Janissaries in Anatolia? -1 stability, 25 devastation, the whole Anatolia region. Okay, we need ships to get on the islands. Okay guys, I figured this out. So I need to stop the disaster by enacting 3 decisions to face the Janissaries. But to unlock these decisions, we have to go for the missions. So, how it works is that the first mission unlocked me 1 decision. Taking one of these 2 unlocks me the second decision. Taking the third one unlocks me the third decision. That's why it's on purpose, so it's not that easy to face the disasters or just do 3 rebels and that's it. No, you need to take all of these 3 missions. And I need to get rid of all of the Janissaries to do that. I don't see any Janissary rebels here. Why it's saying I have to do something? And then I remembered that in freaking Augsburg, the rebels that started at day 1 of the war, so I think they might be occupying this province as well. Yeah, let's just go ahead and deal with them. Okay, there goes the mission to modernize the army. It's giving us a stability, manpower, mill points, army professions, army tradition and legitimacy. I mean, legitimacy doesn't matter, but army tradition? Because Manshood army requires me to have 70 army tradition. Now with this... What? I had 49? Why is it not giving me 25? They just gave me 2.5 instead of 25 army tradition? Ah, no, that's the decision. Okay, that's good. Because, you know, I need to complete 2 idea groups military, not one. So what I'm doing right now is useless. 70 army tradition is easy, but 65% army professions is gonna be harder because it's right now at the level 30. First of all, let's face the Janissaries. I want to do that with my ruler because that is decreasing the decadence, fighting with your ruler, so maybe also idea cost will be lower. So how about we take this and we take decision face the Janissaries, which didn't give us all of the things that I just said. Hey! I didn't get this army tradition from this mission. How am I supposed to work with that? Aye, guys. Aye. Let's just... 250 of them, okay. Janissary shattered. Legitimacy, maximum absolutis. Janissary influence minus 50. Because that's the end of the coup. And then, now I can take it! Immediately! This is just so good! Let's take it! So, Manchu army reform gives me 2 choices. I even unlock the Manchu army, which gives me a tier 5 gun reform, which disables the Janissaries, but gives me infantry combat ability and western unit types. Or I just unlock it, change the western unit types, and do not take the Manchu army. What do I have for tier 5 right now? Just a reminder, expanded the Shire system. I want to keep it. Let's just for now do this and change ourselves to Western. Oh, that's, yeah, new unit types, so I'm just gonna be destroyed in this battle. Well, that's fine. That means we have everything done here now. It was easier than I thought. And only the new Dawn is left, which is have no disasters left. And it is right now a new era for the Caliphal Islamic Caliphate, because I got rid of all of the disasters. I walked through all of them. I got wiped in this battle, guys. This gives us better stats for the ruler. So he's gonna be actually 5. It unlocks me modernized government of the Ottomans, tier 1, which gives a fixed dynasty, Pashas, Janissaries. I just disabled Janissaries, I'm gonna get them back. Ruler has a harem. Harem events enables eyalets as well, max absolutis, gov capacity, all estates influence minus 10. This is good. Let me just take it. And is this guy's, yeah, 555, and this is a nice picture how it looks. And this mission is giving me 100 power protection, staff cost minus 25%, year legitimacy, 5% admin efficiency, so we have in total 10% because this was 5% as well, and 20 max absolutism. So now my max absolutism is 0 because I still have all of these shit modifiers. Even with all of these reforms, you can see the influence is still 100. So I mean, if I get this to 100 with no loyalty, I might make them loyal, but it's gonna take ages. How about national decision? Islamic Center of Scholarly Learning, which gives me missionary strength and technology cost. Please, I abuse that's of my skill of the ruler. That disabled the decadence. So I can just do this and this very easily. I can do this very easily. I can do this very easily. The country is pretty much fixed. We just have to deal with these rebels, and that's gonna be the last action I'll do today. That disabled the Shire system, it seems. So anyway, I had to take the... What was that? I can't take the Manchu army? Because I got the Janissaries after all, so I cannot do this. Oh, I have to increase the crown land, okay. Okay, I have to just take off the privileges from the Janissaries. And that's gonna be done. Actually, the influence of Janissaries is updated, so I might deal with the Janissaries today, guys, as my last action item. I want to do that. I want to deal with the Janissaries and fix our absolutism. First privilege I'll cancel is not this one. All three hurt a lot, but this one. Tech costs 15%, idea costs 15%, and reform progress minus 100%. How about we cancel this? This of course costs some rebels. Well, okay, here, just deal them. And it didn't take much of the influence, that's nice. Let's cancel the next one, which is Puppet Caliph, because that's 10 influence, but also 30 max absolutism. And 3 mana monthly that we are using. That's the rebels in Constantinople. Please deal with them. And then we will be cancelling more of them. In the meantime, you see, max absolutely is fixing. With this change, I can also take offensive ideas, which finishes them and gives me 3 new policies. Income from vassals might be interesting. How about we go for it? So right now I'm earning 577 from them. With this update, that's 807. Another privilege to be cancelled, I think, is gonna be this one, because it takes 15 of our discipline and it keeps increasing our absolutism. Another one to be cancelled, how about this one, because it's increasing the leader's cost. As we can see, that decreased the influence to 24%. We are getting it easier and easier to cancel more. By the way, it seems that the 100 power potion I got from the mission tree is also permanent, and it's the localization is missing, because it's Tur A Reborn Empire. Okay, this is the last privilege I can cancel right now, which is pretty nice. In the next 7 years, I'll be able to cancel another 2. My max absolutism is already 65, or should it be 75? Oh yeah, this screen is just so laggy, I shouldn't have clicked that. Yeah, it's 65, so the other four privileges? So these are not giving 10. Yeah. Something is wrong? 10% should be removed from... Oh no, it's crownland ownership, okay. It's also an easy fix, just do this. That's the biggest advantage of bigger nations. That's what happens when you revoke, but you can just do it for the automatic rebel suppression. But most importantly, this should be right now 75. So it's pretty much fixed. I can get another 5 from guarantee forms and then cancelling more privileges. So I think this is gonna be the perfect moment to finish this campaign, because I will have time to deal with these rebels. So guys, I hope that it was of help for you if you want to go for decadence yourself. Honestly, it took me far more time than it should. So if you prepare it better, you go for all of the disaster or prevent the disaster right way, it's gonna be easier. I think I've lost a lot of time waiting for the decadence to get to 100. That can be also handled. Then the disasters could be faster, especially planning the Janissary disaster, which I didn't. And, you know, I was learning together with you this video, and I hope that this helped a lot. And if you did, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to get notified about the future content. Bye!